So, you all remember Camp Animal Crossing, right? I made content about the show a few years ago, and it went really well. Unfortunately, I have looked back at the past 2 seasons of the show, especially the first season, and I noticed that the show wasn't really great. No offense to the creator though. Connor's a great guy, and I love a few of his videos. I actually really liked his Perkins Family series. I honestly thought it went into a good direction. However, shows like Camp Animal Crossing, Vine Survivor, and even some episodes of Ashton and Ashley, are not the best. Even when I first watched the first episode of Camp AC back in 2021, I was like, yup, he's copying the Total Drama series a little. So let's try to fix this series. Not entirely copying the series, or remaking every episode. Fan-made redesigns, alongside a different plot from the original. This is better than actually remaking the show, since it saves me some time, because I have my own to work on. However, I made a few ground rules before I actually start remaking things. First, I can't change any of the players in the show. Which is perfectly fine. All 73 of them are actually not bad choices. However, some of the plot has to stay the same. For instance, Cherry still has to have a crush on Admiral, Marshall has to still love Olivia, and Dottie and Freckles have to stay friends. I just have to make sure I add some new stuff as well, to shake things up a little. Finally, I have to remember that Connor originally made this series. I did not, so I'll have to give him some credit. So, in the description, there is a link to Connor's channel. Go subscribe to him, he actually has some great content. If you're new to this channel, click that subscribe button, and click the notification bell. My name is Robbie and I'm gonna commentate most of the videos on this channel. If you're one of our usual commenters and viewers, welcome back. You're in for a great treat today, since this video was something I came up with for a long time, so I'm excited to share to you all what I have in store for you. So now, let's dive into some Camp Animal Crossing. Let's start with the characters. Like I said, there is 73 characters in this series, all from the popular franchise, Animal Crossing. Connor based all of the designs from their New Horizon designs. Well, sort of, I would say. A lot of them don't really remind me of the original games, especially when I got Animal Crossing for my Nintendo Switch a while back. Some of them don't even stand out to me, because some of them aren't even memorable. But the worst part is when you add the audio or script from Total Drama Island, a popular series that aired in the late 2000s, and put the audio over Viant human versions of Animal Crossing villagers. So, first before I go through all 73 characters, here are a few things that I'm fixing. First, I'm gonna make the characters not really inspired by Total Drama characters. For instance, Cherry will not be based off Gwen, Lily isn't gonna be based off Lindsay, Chao is not gonna be based off Owen, etc. And my second point is, I'm gonna try to keep the characters with some charm from the Nintendo games. I had no connections with any of the characters in the show that reminded me of the game, so I'm gonna try and actually look at the designs and make them more cartoonish. So without further ado, here are the 73 players, all redesigned based on their original villager designs. Admiral, Agent S, Ali, Antonio, Axel, Bam, Barold, Beardo, Becky, Bill, Biscuit, Blair, Boomer, Boots, Bree, Berfina, Bud, Canberra, Caroline, Chatter, Cherry, Chow, Derwin, Diana, Dottie, Ed, Ellie, Elmer, Eugene, Flurry, Freckles, Gala, Genji, Gonzo, Grizzly, Groucho, Hamlet, Hans, Huck, Jambet, Jay, Julian, Kabuki, Cat, Keaton, Lily, Lucha, Lucky, Mac, Margie, Marshall, Mary, Mo, Nate, Olivia, Ozzy, Pee-wee, Phil, Phoebe, Punchy, Pearl, Rasher, Raymond, Ribbot, Robin, Roscoe, Sky, Sparrow, Spike, Tucker, Vic, Violet, and Yuka. Oh, and I redesigned Tom Nook and Isabel as well. So now since we got our characters, we need to fix the plot. Now, I will say this, since this series is copied by Total Drama, I think we should still have some connection to that show. Let's instead make references to Total Drama, just like how I referenced the confessional room from Camp Animal Crossing in my show. Stupid Character Elimination and Go City Elimination also use a lot of references to Total Drama as well, since both of them are inspired by it. Though I do think that Stupid Character Elimination was more based on BFDI. The challenges that the contestants face, however, is not the main focus about the rewrite, since there are 68 episodes in the show's run. Let's instead imagine certain plot arcs throughout the show. I'll go through original romances, friendships and rivalries in this segment, and then I'll go through the new romances, friendships, and rivalries in the show. So, here's what I kept from the original, and here's what's new for the show. Starting off with Cherry and Admiral. Both of them are still dating in this show. However, how they met is different. They meet in episode 2, when Admiral was upset over one of Cherry's pranks. But then they start talking more afterwards, and then they become extremely close. But unlike the original Camp Animal Crossing, they both get eliminated together, which is so sweet. Marshall and Olivia are together for the majority of the show. However, that relationship doesn't last, since Olivia is dating another boy behind Marshall's back. Marshall breaks up with her, and is heartbroken. Afterwards, Marshall gets away from any woman he sees, since he's nervous that the same thing will happen. Finally, I kept Roscoe and Sky together. I liked their relationship in the original, but I would scrap the idea that they were roommates. This time, their relationship actually gets a build-up, and they officially start dating after Roscoe leaves the show. Moving on to friendships. First one I kept was Dottie and Freckles, however, I'm avoiding them being broken up in Season 2. I think they would rather become close and actually like each other. Oh, and Olivia still is with them, but unfortunately she's the one who breaks off the friendship with them in Season 2. Despite her being a bit tamer in this rewrite. Bill and Genji was actually not bad, but I would say I would keep Bill as an early boot, but still have Genji and Bill be close as well. They're fun to be around, so I think it would be fun to see some more interactions with that. The only rivalry I loved from the original series was Sparrow and Diana, but instead of it being 1 or 2 episodes, I actually want it to be a bit more of an on and off going rivalry. That would actually give other characters screen time, rather than just focus on 2 players. Now for the new couples. I have Gala and Genji at the top of my list. I love the idea of them dating. I just don't know why I never saw Connor coming up with this idea. This would have worked out so well in the show. I think these two fit together really well. Another one I imagined in my head is Agent S and Kat. Sure, it's a bit of an odd one, since you probably think I would choose Ken. But I truly see these two together, since I don't see Agent S in Season 2. But if I make a video about that sometime soon, then I'll explain why. Yuka and Spike is another one I made up that would work as well. However, this one goes down the toxic route, and both of them don't have a good relationship, as Spike suffers Yuka's emotional abuse and arrogance. Spike doesn't like that, since he has trauma from a relationship he was in before. Yuka gets booted off the show because of that. Agent S and Phil is the first new friendship. At first Phil thinks Agent S is a weirdo, since he thinks that her hero persona is a bit too childish. But as the show progresses, he softens up and stops thinking about himself. He actually even makes a little hero-type persona himself, as he starts accepting Agent S the way she is. Ed also bonds with Phil a lot in this show. He sees that Phil's narcissism is from his mental health. Ed actually coaches Phil to be a better person, and he actually becomes a bit more relevant to the plot. Bam and Jay would be a great friendship in the show, especially during the second team split. And also I have Julian being friends with Kat. That would be kind of fun as well, especially with Julian helping Kat with her love of Agent S. Even if Kat thinks that Agent S is pretty dumb. Bree and Mac is my final new main friendship in the show. This one is for the antagonists, since Bree is revealed to be a very bad person as the show slowly progresses. Mac is always with her since he's her right-hand man. Mac actually likes Bree's devilish behavior, and often has her back when she loses a battle. First new rivalry is Olivia and Ed. Yeah, this one doesn't really surprise many people since Ed was one of Olivia's targets to get out, but instead, Olivia has a crush on him, and Ed is not even interested. Ed's rivalry with Olivia begins once Olivia eliminates one of his friends by accident. And he gets revenge on her by eliminating her. Eugene is Agent S's first rival, as he is revealed to actually have a connection to Kat. He used to be her first lover, but once Kat wasn't interested in him anymore, he was upset. Keep in mind, it was actually in elementary school and elementary school love relationships don't usually work out well. But since Agent S isn't really that bright, she believes that he was dating her when she was in early high school. This is an early season elimination anyway, so this one doesn't really last long. Jambette also has a hatred for Agent S, especially during a jet ski/kayak challenge, where she says that Agent S isn't a real superhero. Agent S has a breakdown, especially having a flashback to early middle school, as she's shown being bullied for being a tomboy and loving superheroes. Groucho and Derwin have a rivalry as well, since they are debating over what personality is better. Jocks or nerds? That question never has an answer, since Groucho gets eliminated, and Derwin's never figures it out. Another rivalry I have is Roscoe and Tucker. This one is another small one, though Roscoe was in charge of eliminating Tucker. He doesn't like Tucker cause he smells bad and doesn't know much about the things that they are doing. Now we get to all of Bree's rivalries. There are so many of them. Bree has a rivalry with Lucha first. However, that one is shrugged off as a basic competitive rivalry. This is the only time Agent S is on Bree's side. Since Agent S's main rival is Lucha throughout the show. Yuka's another good rival that Bree has. She actually helps eliminate Yuka, since she understands what Spike is actually going through. However, this marks the end of all of the good rivalries. The rest of them are antagonistic rivalries. Bree's first bad rivalry was with Caroline, as she thinks she's a bit too lame to be on the show, since she thinks Caroline's dream of becoming a volleyball coach in Brazil is too over the top. This results in Caroline being an early boot. Pee-wee also is another rival she had during the first team phase. She thinks Pee-wee's relationship with Vic was dumb, and Vic acted like everything was about him. However, Vic's elimination wasn't deserving since he was starting to get better advice from Pee-wee. Bree saw that Pee-wee was remembering Vic, thus telling the team that they need to vote him out. Sky is her only original team rival that made the merge, as she thinks that Roscoe is too tough for her. She especially tries to kiss Roscoe without his consent. This is when Sky gets heartbroken, but Roscoe admits that she was trying to steal him from Sky, especially when Roscoe tried to punch her in the face, which failed so badly. Genji's her main rival for the rest of the series, despite Genji doing nothing to make her upset. She keeps on making Genji lose challenges, which makes Genji finally notice, thus starting a big rivalry. This rivalry ends when Bree gets eliminated. Okay, now let's go through the elimination order. I changed it so much, since the order in Camp AC is so similar to Total Drama. So I fixed it up a little bit. But I won't reveal the top 20, because I have to reveal a big plotline. This list is something I just came up with. If any of this isn't like your fan-made version, or if there was any relationships you wanted to see, let me know in the comments section below. But anyways, halfway through the series, Tom gets arrested after being rude to Mary, leaving Isabel to host the remainder of the game. She actually becomes a great host, and is able to handle the remaining 20 players. Sooner or later, the final 20 becomes the final 10, and the stakes are higher. 10 then divides into 5, and sooner or later, we are down to 3 players. The final 3 of this fan-made version is Genji, Agent S, and Bree. However, this marks the end of Bree's journey, as she's been eliminated by Genji and Agent S in the second-to-last challenge. So the finale in this rewrite is Genji vs Agent S. Genji had the upper hand in the final challenge. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough, and Agent S becomes the first official winner of the show, and takes home the first ever $1 million. And that's it. That's what I created for my rewrite. So how would you rewrite this show? Would you do something similar to me or something completely different? Comment down below your answer. If we get over 50 likes on this video, I will make a Season 2 rewrite. So please click that like button and subscribe to my channel for more rewrites and other object show type content. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you all soon. This is our Animate, signing off.